Right, so some pretty big developments have been happening with Nintendo Switch Online. Let's talk about them. So hey everybody, Blood Moon Bobby here, finally back from Long Beach Comic Con, here to discuss. I'm back to doing my regular sort of news videos again. Next couple of videos I'm going to do aren't about the super most recent sort of news. It's just kind of more my general thoughts on a couple of the topics that I've been covering on my show lately. For this video, I'll be doing Nintendo Switch Online. My next one will be about Disney Plus. So let's get started with Nintendo Switch Online, because some pretty big things have happened regarding Nintendo Switch Online since I last talked about it on my show. And the first one, and the more recent development, is that Super Nintendo games are now available for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers. So now you can go and download this app. It's kind of like the NES app for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers, where the Super Nintendo app will actually house 20 Super NES games, of which I'll have them listed in this video, and you could even pause the video to see if your favorite game is on there. So that's now available for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers. And something that actually happened a while ago was that Switch Online subscribers could actually play Mario Tennis Aces for a limited time only. So they were able to play Mario Tennis Aces between August 7th and the 13th. And I actually played the game a few times myself, especially the sort of single player modes, and I thought that was kind of a fun game. I'm not like super convinced to actually buy the game in full, but I thought it was actually quite a bit fun. And actually, speaking of the Super Nintendo games, Nintendo told Business Insider that, you know how up until now the NES games have been released on Switch, basically they've only come out monthly. Well, Nintendo told Business Insider that they will no longer be sticking to a monthly schedule in regards to the NES and Super Nintendo games. What I'm hoping this means is that they'll release new NES and Super Nintendo games, like instead of every month, maybe it'll be more frequent in terms of maybe we'll get some once a week, maybe a couple every week, and that sort of a thing, rather than having to stick to a monthly schedule. So I actually see that as more of a benefit for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers. So I'm definitely glad to see that Nintendo is finally taking some pretty big steps to spruce up their online subscription service. I'd honestly consider myself one of the sort of lesser critics of the Switch Online subscription, only because, like, my personal opinion is, so long as I can play the games online, like as long as I can do Doom and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe matches online, then, hey, that's honestly good for me. But I did wish that the Switch Online service had more to offer, especially in regards to things like adding more sort of retro system and past Nintendo systems. And I'm really glad to see that Nintendo is adding Super Nintendo games to Nintendo Switch Online, and they're allowing people to play one of their games, Mario Tennis Aces, for a limited time only. It may not be like what they have with PlayStation Plus, where you can actually like download a full game every month. Like in the past, PlayStation Plus has given away games like one of the Yakuza games, as well as Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. So maybe it's not that caliber, but I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. And I think for me, one of my concerns was that I was concerned, even though Nintendo said before that they're looking into putting new features into Nintendo Switch Online, I was kind of worried they might sit back a little on that and think, well, as long as people keep subscribing to the Nintendo Switch Online service, we don't really see the need to change all that much. I mean, yeah, or whenever we put out videos announcing what NES games we're going to put on the service every month, they get disliked to death. It's like, yeah, it's just internet hate. Why do we have to change that? So I'm really glad that, I didn't have to resort to canceling my Switch subscription to try to make, Nintendo do that sort of thing. Because I still like having my Switch Online subscription to play the occasional Mario Kart 8 Deluxe match online. I also like playing Doom multiplayer online, although unfortunately these days it's kind of hard to find a team deathmatch, since I don't think there isn't as many players for Doom on Switch as there are on other consoles. But I'm really glad to see Nintendo finally take steps into making their online service a better platform. Now, that's not to say I did wish they had some additional features to the Switch Online platform. Like, I still wish that they offered more games on top of the NES and Super Nintendo games. And speaking of which, there are some notable absences in the Super Nintendo games that have been released for Nintendo Switch Online. Like, you won't see Earthbound on this list or games like that. And hopefully they'll release Earthbound for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers down the road. I'm hoping that we'll even get games like Earthbound Beginnings and maybe, just maybe, Mother 3. I know the odds of Mother 3 officially coming stateside are very slim to none. Like, I totally understand that, but I'd still like to hold on to hope that maybe there's something that even Nintendo themselves hasn't considered yet, or something that somebody hasn't thought of yet that could bring that game over stateside. So I would really like to see them add more games, especially since with the Wii U had a really robust virtual console service. Like, it offered NES games, Super Nintendo games, Nintendo 64 games, Nintendo DS, and Game Boy Advance, and even the original Wii. So I would like to see that sort of lineup come to Switch down the line in admittedly a more organized fashion. Like, if you go to your Nintendo Switch, like if you download the NES and Super Nintendo games, they're housed in separate apps. Like, there's one for Super Nintendo games and one for NES games. And I'm thinking maybe in the future, if Nintendo adds more games to Switch Online, maybe they could do a thing where they just house all the games within one app, and then when you go inside the app, it'll all be organized into NES, Super Nintendo, and if they add like N64, Wii, and Game Boy Advance games down the road. So I would definitely like to see Nintendo do that down the road. This feature doesn't really bother me as much because I don't really like to do voice chat online, but I would like to see more Nintendo games do have their voice chat done through the system itself as opposed to the app. I know for a while Fortnite for the Switch allows players to do voice chat through the game itself and you don't need the Nintendo Switch online app. And I've even heard recently that it is now possible for developers to take advantage of having built-in voice chat in their games. So I'm hoping that carries over to more third-party games and maybe even Nintendo will pick up on that on their own, because I personally wouldn't mind using an app for voice chat. It's just the kind of thing where I'm neither here nor there, but I definitely could see the convenience of just doing it on the Switch itself. So I would like to see that down the line as well. And this is something that I hope, I don't want to see Nintendo require a Switch subscription for, or a Switch online subscription for, but I would like to see them add more media streaming services to the Switch. They currently have Hulu and YouTube on the Switch, which I occasionally use now and then. Like, I occasionally watch an episode of the Eric Andre show on my Switch using Hulu, and I also watch the occasional YouTube video on my Switch, especially when I have days where I'm too lazy to go get my iPad to watch those videos. But I would like to see them add more services like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and even Disney Plus. You know, it's funny, when I was doing the research, I'm going to be doing a Disney Plus video soon, and I saw that the Nintendo Switch wasn't put on the list of supported devices, and I'm like, ooh, come on, Nintendo, you should really consider adding Disney Plus to the Switch. So I really hope they add more streaming services. I hope they don't. If they do, I hope they don't require. I don't want them to require like a Nintendo Switch Online subscription to access them, but I think it would be nice if Nintendo added those services to their system down the line. But that being said, I will say that I definitely think Nintendo has made some pretty big strides in terms of adding more features to Nintendo Switch Online, and I hope they continue to add to them, like adding more Super Nintendo games. I definitely like the lineup that they have as of right now. Like, I managed to play some Star Fox, Super Mario Kart, and Yoshi's Island on the Switch, and they were definitely really fun to play on the Switch. It was actually my first time getting to play the original Star Fox, which I'm really glad Nintendo added to Switch Online, as well as Super Mario Kart. Alright, so it was definitely a lot of fun, and I really hope Nintendo will consider adding more Switch game, or letting people try more Switch games down the line. Like, maybe I can't see them doing something like letting people play like a trial version of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, because I know they're probably going to think, oh, those are really big temple games and we really want people to who buy them in full. So I'm thinking maybe they could do it with games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Yoshi's Crafted World. Which Yoshi's Crafted World you could already play the demo on Nintendo Switch, but I'm talking about doing a thing where maybe people could play even more into the campaign, because if they do a trial period, people can experience more of the game, even if it means they won't get all the time in the world to finish it up. So I definitely would like to see something like that for the Nintendo Switch down the line. In terms of a full game download, like something like what Sony does with PlayStation Plus, I'd selfishly like to see that myself, but I'm not really sure if Nintendo is going to be down for it. I'm just speaking from Nintendo's perspective, not mine in that regard. So, but I do like the steps that Nintendo is taking with Nintendo Switch Online. I do hope it means that they are going to be adding more features to the Switch Online service in the future, like adding support for even more or classic systems or Nintendo systems from the past. Like the other day I was thinking, wouldn't it be really nice if they brought Excite Truck over to the Switch? Like if they just ported over the Wii version of Excite Truck and made it available for Switch Online subscribers. I think that would be all really nice. And if they better implemented voice chat within their games as opposed to the Nintendo Switch smartphone app, as well as added more streaming services, I definitely think those would make the Switch Online service a much better proposition. So that's how I personally feel. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of the new additions to Nintendo Switch Online? Does it make you want to consider picking up a Nintendo Switch Online subscription? Leave all those thoughts down below. Until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you guys for watching. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this Blood Moon Bobby video. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and feel free to leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to get notified when I release my latest videos. Follow me at Blood Moon Bobby on your favorite social media platforms to take part in polls, see my tech tips, and to hear about my video plans. Thanks for watching.